It's Waking Up with Whitney on K103 and our Jimmy Carter update being brought to you by Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coating with offices in Marion and Cape. Go with Reynolds. So, Jimmy, we're going to start this morning with the one and only Toby Keith.
Toby Keith sat down with one of the anchor ladies over in Oklahoma City at News 9 and did a big one-on-one, and something you can find on the internet if you want to. It's just try to remember News 9, Oklahoma, Toby Keith, and it should bounce right up there. He looks rough. I'll just have to say that.
Yeah.
But he's been through a lot. You know, this cancer thing just is beating him, but he's beating it, as we still say. I think he's still in some kind of treatment. I didn't totally understand that from the interview, but it's an interesting interview, and he definitely is a different Toby Keith than the one that I knew a number of years ago. He's very, he's into his faith and believing, and he's calm. He's just a different person, and that's not a bad thing. It's all good, and I think his head's in a good place too. And he's been putting the whipping on the cancer, and cancer been putting the whipping on him. So Toby's still standing. All right, Morgan Wallen. He's mad because he went down in 2014 and recorded some music, signed his management career and all this stuff up, which many a young person does. Mm-hmm. And somehow he's out of it now, but they've still got his old music, so they're putting it out. Oh. And he doesn't like it because he said it wasn't my idea, not up to my standards, and, it's just not worthy. And I think he tried to buy it, actually. They wouldn't sell it. So they're putting it out. So he went to the studio this week and recorded a song off that album that people did like called Spin You Around. And he's put it out last night, to be exact. So everybody can play it, Spin You Around. So the other album's going to show up. Listen, this happens unfortunately, to a lot of people. Right. Happened in the biggest way ever to the Beatles. The day the Beatles had a number one record with I Want to Hold Your Hand, all of a sudden these other songs started showing up. Songs from Swan Records, She Loves You, which was a hit. Do You Want to Know a Secret? I'm not sure who put that one out, but that was from somebody else. There was Decca, Swan, VJ Records. There was a whole bunch of people who had record deals because they were just trying to get a hit. And finally they got one, but then you had all this residual stuff. So that took it a while to clean that up. And Morgan's going to take a little while to clean this one up. Chris Young's lawyers, since we talked last, there was video. I don't know who pushed who first. ABC cops, Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission, I think every state has them. They go around and they're looking for underage drinkers and people violating, liquor laws. And I don't know. It just looked like wrong place, wrong time for Chris Young.
I agree.
And sounds like that's where it's going to go. And Elle King, hadn't heard a thing from her, but she's postponing shows all the way through the middle of March. So not sure what's going on with Elle King, who was drunk and cussing last Friday night at the Opry. And Eric Church and Morgan Wallen have bought the name Field and Stream. Mm-hmm. Field and Stream magazine. They're going to kick it back up, start putting out clothes with Field and Stream brand on it, and have a Field and Stream music festival and everything else.
Very cool.
Field and Stream. I remember that. It's been around 152 years.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So it's a very, very treasured name in that world. KC Baltimore, who's going to win?
Well, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, Jimmy.
I'm going with the Chiefs, too. I don't like Baltimore, but we get plus 3.5 points. But I want them to win so they can go to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Hey, Jimmy, The Dukes of Hazzard premiered on this day in 1985. It was on for a long time. I think, I don't know, just a long time.
Long time.
Long time. Who was your favorite character on that show?
I like the car. I'll go with the car. That was my favorite character.
You like the General Lee?
The General Lee, yeah.
Okay, all right. I was not expecting that answer, but okay.
Well, yeah, I like what's her name too?
Daisy.
Well, yeah, mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Jimmy, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
That is your Jimmy Carter update this morning. It's being brought to you by Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coating with offices in Marion and Cape Girardeau. Go with Reynolds.